chief guest will join within 5 minutes. This is our Vice Chancellor of Bangalore North University. So dear participants, please cooperate with us. When the sir joins, we are going to have this session. And before that, just let me give some instructions regarding this program. Dear participants, all of you mute your microphones and please mute your microphones. So this faculty development we organized in collaboration with our Bangalore North University and the Mathematics Forum. The main concept of this FDP is just to get the handful Python programmings for our mathematics paper 1, so that will be discussed later on with all our resource persons. So while the session is going on, please mute your microphones, and if you have any queries, you put them in the chat box. So in the question and answer session, so those queries will be clarified. So shortly our chief guest will join. So after that we are going to start the program. Please cope up with us. Shall we start, sir? Okay, madam. Kempraju, sir. Shall we start, sir? Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor K.D. Kemparaju, Bengaluru North University, Kola. Respected Dr. K. Sharada, Principal, GFGC and PG Center, Chintamani. Resource person of today's technical session, Professor Aravind N. Organizers, faculty members, and dear participants. A very good afternoon to one and all. The Department of Mathematics and IQAC of GFGC and PG Center, Chintamani, in association with Bengaluru North University and Mathematics Forum, BLU, BU and BCU, is conducting 6 days national level faculty development program on Python programming from 19th July to 24th July 2021. I, Dr. Jyoti KL, Assistant Professor and PG Coordinator.
So good evening. Good evening to you all. Dr. Pradesh Siddeshwar, the learned colleague, and also the former Professor and Chairman of Department of Mathematics, Bangalore University, Principal, the Government First Year College, Chintamani, the Organizing Secretary, Dr. Subuna, other learned colleagues of various colleges who are participating in this very unique faculty development program. Invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it is very happy to inaugurate this faculty development program of 6 days duration in mathematics, focusing very much on the Python program, how it is applicable for various mathematical operations, the statistical operations, etc. It has been organizing today under the platform of 3 important organizations: the Mathematics Forum of Bangalore University, Bangalore Central University, and Bangalore North University, and Government First Year College, Chintamani, and Bangalore North University. We know that today we all of us are living in the changing environment, or an environment where the transition is taking place in a very rapid speed. We are finding the changes and developments in every field of activity. We are finding remarkable growth and development in every subject. The growth of subject is witnessing nowadays not belongs to their own specific subject domain, but also beyond the boundary of our own subject. As a result of this, one can witness the growth of multidisciplinary character in every subject field. The time has gone now where the subject of one field cannot learn everything, but we have to learn from other application field also. So this is a kind of a trend what we have seen crossing the boundary of our subject, where we bring in so many other things from other subjects, apply in our subject to operate so many 6 days. Because on its dimensions of the Python program and its applications. Though late, the concept of Python program is introduced in the curriculum of BSc first year compared to other 2 years. portion should not miss the opportunity of treating not only the general field but also its application aspect. There is a need to on these kinds of developments and also facilitating our students for effective learning. In the same line, today we are seeing the level of knowledge in learning process can be effectively adopted in our classroom environment. So these kinds of things are very much needed if you look at the job market potential for any graduates, whether be BSc in mathematics, BSc in physics, or BA in economics, etc. Whatever, we have to prepare our graduates according to the needs and requirements of our employees. The job market needs and requirements, their aspirations should be taken into an account. Accordingly, we have to devise our curriculum, teaching pedagogy, of Mass Forum as well as Bangalore North University. So Bangalore North University is always supportive for these kinds of programs, and whatever way it requires, either in the form of financial, manpower, and such other kind of resource support, and more science forums should come forward to take up these kinds of activity programs. That is very much required nowadays when we are passing through the age of transition. So I am very happy to inaugurate, and I wish this program a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, respected Vice Chancellor Sir, Kemraj Sir, for making time to inaugurate this FDP, and also for the inspirational words that you have given for us. Now we are at the end of the inaugural session. Soon after this, the technical session will start. Now I request Professor P.R. Narsappa, Faculty of Commerce Department, GFGC and PG Center, to propose vote of thanks for this.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to one and all. On behalf of GFGC and PG Center Chintamani, it is my privilege to propose vote of thanks on first day of 6 days national level FTP on Python programming. My heart fills with lots of gratitude and respect to thank our respected delegate for accepting our invitation, supporting the event by their gusto and enthusiasm. I would like to thank the distinguished guest speaker, but also the inaugural speaker of this day, Dr. T.D. Kemraj sir, who is the Vice Chancellor of Bangalore North University, Kolar, for not only inspiring and sparing their invaluable time for us to grace this occasion. Sir, thank you very much. Thanks a lot, sir, for your encouraging words. Next, I would like to thank today's resource person, Professor Aravind sir, for his presence in the inaugural session and also presenting today about the Python program. Thank you, Aravind sir. Further, I would like to thank our respected principal ma'am, Dr. K. Sharda ma'am, for leading and inspiring us in working towards the goal of conducting this FDP. We are extremely thankful to ma'am for your huge support all times. Thank you, ma'am. This vote of thanks would be last by gratitude to all the faculty members of our college and the team members of this FDP program. Thank you all. Furthermore, I take immense pleasure in extending my sincere thanks to all the participants for enthusiastic response and active participation to make this 6 days FDP a grand success. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Narsappa sir. Now we are going to start the technical session. Now I request HS Kavita, Assistant Professor and HOD of English, GFGC and PG Center Chintamani, to welcome and to introduce today's speaker to the participants. Kavita ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, good evening to one and all. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome and introduce today's resource person, Professor Aravind, to this faculty development program. Professor Aravind N is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Mathematics, National College, Autonomous, Jayanagar, Bangalore. He is also working as an adjunct faculty in the Department of Postgraduate Studies in Research in Physics, the National College, Jayanagar, Bangalore. He has got good teaching experience and academic excellence in the field of mathematics. As a testimony for his distinctive achievement, he qualified GATE in mathematics in the year 2019. His research interests include PDE, machine learning, and computational mathematics. His scholarship and polymath have fetched him many awards and endowment prizes during his studies. Besides being an able academician, he is also an amateur violinist and is more inclined towards South Indian classical music. Professor Aravind sir is also a person who seeks the welfare of people with his philanthropic work. He is engaged with a charitable trust and is involved in doing many social activities for the upliftment of rural poor by helping them with educational health. Today it is our honor and privilege to have you with us, sir. I, on behalf of the Department of Mathematics, Principal, and staff of our college, wholeheartedly welcome you for this FTP program. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I would also like to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. K. Sharda ma'am, who has been a guiding force to all of us. I welcome you, ma'am. I extend my welcome to all the teaching and non-teaching staff of our college who have been extending their cooperation in conducting this program. At the end, I would like to welcome all the participants who are taking part in this FTP from different parts of Karnataka and other states. I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavita madam. So before we begin the technical session, a kind request from the dear participants, please and put your video in the off mode. And if necessary, when you want to interact with the resource person, then only you unmute your mic. The session to the today, Aravind sir. Over to Aravind sir.
Thank you. Good evening, one and all, and thank you, Kavita ma'am, for the nice introduction. You have put the words very beautifully about me. And also, I would like to thank Government First Aid College Chintamani for giving me an opportunity. Thank you. So I would like to congratulate all the team members of this organizing committee and all the people, because it's a difficult task to organize. I would like to congratulate them as well. So I shall share the screen. So Python, as like many of you know, and also as like sir has told, and also in the webinar that I organized in the few weeks back, it's being used in various aspects, and also in the domain of mathematics. Python is becoming very much essential. I can say it's kind of overtaking the MATLAB or even other kind of tools or softwares that are being used as of now. I wouldn't say you cannot measure those things, that's true, but still on the other hand, the technology used in Python is it's much more easy for us. It's becoming very much I would say user friendly, I would say. Yeah. So it's just a high level language. Okay, so this is just an introduction that I have written. It's just whatever is there in the Python documentation. So it's a scripting language. As of now, they're using text processing and all these things. But when it comes to math, most of the thing, whatever that we learn in mathematics, can be used directly or indirectly using Python as well. So especially the symbolic representation, okay, or like the CAS, it is giving much good result, and also the way it is being course, there are a few pros and cons. Okay, so since the pros are more with regards to Python, we are relying on this one, and also since the language is being widely used in all the domains of science and technology, it's better we shift to this one, because one or other way we can, you know, uh, have the track, or like just that interchange of the domains will be much easier. Okay, that's the point over here. So it's always better to read the documentation in whatever Python or like the libraries, or even I have actually given with, all the documentation and all these things. Okay. So what I am using over here is Jupyter Notebook. Okay. The Python ideally is it's also there. Okay. So I shall start with the section and all these things. Okay. So this is how the Python web page looks like. So when we download Python, you can download this Python with this page. Okay, python.org/download. Okay, in this page you can download Python, and the newest version as of now is 3.9.6. Okay, so 3.9 is the new version of Python that is being introduced. Okay. And we can even find the previous versions over here. Okay, 3.8, 3.7, and all these things we can download. But since the new version comes with beta packages and also some bug that would have been there in the 3.8 things, it might have been rectified. So that's why we tend to go to the newer versions. So if we have to download Python, okay, so when you download Python, it will be like this: Python 3.9 AMD64. So since mine is 64-bit system, okay, so when you're downloading over here, you need to check which is the OS that you're using. First is OS. Okay, some people might use Linux. Okay, so they have to check this one. Or you can just download this one, and then you can later go with whatever OS that you are using. That is one place. So when you run this one, so since I have already installed Python, it is asking me modify or repair. Okay, so modify meaning I want to add some more or like some new version of this one. Okay. So Python is like vast ocean which is improving day by day with a lot of source codes being implemented. Okay. So if we want to know more, we have to update it ourselves. Okay, looking into the lot various domains that are available. One thing I would suggest is you to go through GitHub. Okay. So GitHub is not the one. This is one platform where we can look into a lot of codes or repositories. Repositories meaning they might have written a code. Okay. So suppose we use some package or like some. So mac.lib the other one, if we want to use one code. Okay. So plot this kind of a equation. So how to plot, and that will be written over here. Okay. Of course, it will be a bit difficult for a beginner to understand all these things. But yeah, they have a lot of discussions over here if we are going through some trouble or some other issue while installing the Python. Another will be Stack Exchange. Stack Exchange or Stack Overflow. So this is one another website where any error. Okay. So one thing is we need to know how to deal with errors while installing or running a program in Python or even any other language. Okay. So just to know, or like when we are encountering this one, if we don't know, okay, many a times I have made use of this Stack Overflow or Stack Exchange because we wouldn't know. Even now, I have a problem in one of the programs. I am still unable to get to that solution. Okay, so I have asked people. I actually there are groups. There are available groups on social media and all the other things. We can just interact with them because day by day things are becoming. I wouldn't say complex, but they are developing. So with this development in the computational world with mathematics, it will be essential for us to know what actually things are things. And this is, I agree with that. This is very much new for almost all of us. Okay, I too didn't know Python, but still it was just the time I had a bit of time that I could dedicate about it to this one. Okay, so this is one thing about Python. So when we download, you make sure that you install this one. Okay, one thing is that you have to do is there will be a checkbox over here asking you to add to path. Okay, so you want to add to path, and there will be a checkbox, even checkbox next to that add to path. There will be a sentence. Make sure that you check that one, because when you don't add to path, okay, add to path, I just show you what is add to path. So when you go to My Computers, you can right click on My Computers and go to Properties. These are very much essential because you would want to install NumPy and SymPy or like any other library if you want to install in the system. You would have to do these kind of things. If at all it's not, done. Okay. So when you go to this Windows 8, mine is Windows 8. Some people might get Windows 10 if you are using Windows 10. Okay. So advanced system settings. When you go to advanced system settings, you go to environment variable. So in environment variable, scroll down. So I have this path over here. Okay, this is system path. This is system path. I just try to edit this one. Okay, so here you can see that program files Python 3.8. 3.8, but it is 38 because dot is not. We cannot give a dot something file for a file name. Okay, so I have used a lot of other variables. Okay. But make sure like this kind of a statement. Okay. So C Python scripts. Okay, so make sure that this is available in the environment variable, because this is the one that actually executes from the command window. Okay, so the system variable, it will understand that you are using Python code over here. Okay, so we did not give this one because with Python 2.4 or greater, or 3.4, not 3.4, yeah, 3.4 or greater, or 2.7 or greater. Okay, so Python 2 and Python 3 version ಇದೆ. So with Python 2.7 or greater and Python 3.4 or greater, okay, these things will be done as it is, and also the pip and the one because we'll be using the pip install commands. Okay, those pip also will be introduced. Okay, it's an inbuilt. Okay, when you download a Python, it will be already introduced. Installed. Okay, it is already been installed in those things. Okay, so this is about the Python downloading and installing. So when we go to Python, the first thing that we start with is IDLE, okay, or like the integrated development and learning environment. So it looks like this. So this is what Python IDLE shell looks like. So it gives all the basic information. The tag is version. This is version 3.9.5. Okay, and so this is 64-bit. So mine hardware is 64-bit. So it's using 64-bit. And on Windows 32, show the technical things that you will not give that much importance. So here type help or copyrighted credits and all this is for more information. So we'll just use help. Now it will give us welcome to 3.9 help and all these things. So we have, instead of this, 3 arrow marks. So I'm starting with help because I'm just assuming that okay, I'll start with the basic as if I don't know. So we'll go to the basic mathematical commands in a bit. So help. So help has all the basic things that actually Python can give. So I'll just give add. As of now, no Python documentation for add, but I use addition. Sum is help. It's a built-in function. Okay, it returns sum of start value plus iterative number of functions. how do I exit this one? So exit, you close and open and close the parenthesis. Now you can just press enter so that it will go to the shell or something. So this is like the console of Scilab. Okay. So you cannot edit things over here. You can just use it as a calculator. 5 plus 3. Okay. So this is for addition. 5 star 3 is 3, that is multiplication. 5 minus 3 is subtraction. 5 divided by 3 is a give a float. It is a float value. It will give 1.667. So it's rounding off after a few decimal places. So 5 star 3. This is power. 5 star 3. It will give 5 cube. Okay. So 5 cube means 5 star 3. These are some basic things that with the basic math operations that generally people use. Okay, so 5%. 5% is the modulus of 5 comma 3, or like what is the remainder. So that will give this answer. There are a lot of these basic things that are available. We can use up to certain stage with just this ideally, or like this. Okay. But if you want to write as like a Python editor, okay, so you go to this file over here, and you can add this new file. In this new file, we can edit. This is the editor, Scilab editor. This is one editor where you can write all these things. X is equal to 5 equal to.
Aravind sir, sorry for the disturbance. Sir, if you, can you make the font size big?
Okay.
And also the volume, sir. You put maximum volume in your system, sir.
Just a minute, I didn't use the earphone session.
Sir, and also font size is very small, sir.
Yes.
Please increase the font size.
Is it louder, ma'am? Now is it fine?
Better, sir.
Is it better? Okay, fine.
Okay. So what about the font size, sir?
So font size. Just a minute. Yeah. So in configure ideally, we have this one. I'll use that. Thank you for this. I'll use this opportunity to even tell a bit about the Python shell and how we can change all these things. So this is as of now Courier new. Okay, so this is the basic font style. Okay, I shall increase the size to 16 like this. Okay, so if I apply, is it better now, ma'am? Is it better now?
Sir, still more. You can increase font still. Yes, sir. Now it is okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, no problem. So this is where you can use all the if you want to change the font size or like even the text style. Okay, all these things we can change over here, and also we can change the color of the backgrounds. Okay. So as of now, I'm using ideally classic. If we want to use some ideally dark, that time you use this one, the changes. But nobody would like to do this one because it's always classic is much more easy. Where is the function and all these things, because it gives a proper vision. So these are the basic things that just okay. We'll get back to this one later with a bit of math modules, okay, which are available. Since I was telling this. So x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 6. If you want to define some function over here, you can define it, and you have to save all these things. You have to save this one, and then you would have to execute, which will come in another few slides maybe. As of now, I'll not save this one. We'll return to our environment. Okay, this one. How is the font?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now it is okay.
Yeah. So these are the ideally that is the bit of introduction about ideally. So it's coded in 100% Python, okay, and using later GUI. GUI is just graphic user interface that will not bother about that much about it, okay, because we are interested in only coding, and if our code works as of now, we have used fine. So it works the same way in all the Windows, Unix, and also Mac OS. This is one important thing because most of the apps, okay, or like even apps or whatever browser that you are using, okay, so few pages or like few apps will work differently in different OS. So few things will be made only for Mac OS, okay, and even now, what is it? Maxima. Okay, so we can use Maxima. Maxima software or like Maxima app is available for the Android version, but I don't think it is used like it is available for an Apple OS or like even the mobile app I'm trying to see. Okay, so Maxima app is available for an Android version, but not for Apple OS. It's unavailable. So these are kind of things that are, from the computer science background or like the technical background from the developer end. These are the things that. So, but over here, Python actually is available. Like it works same in all the other cases. So multi-window text editor with multiple, undo Python colorization and all these things. And actually, I give a small example over there. You can do those things. These are a bit of things. Like you can go through this documentation again, okay, for most of the for the other clarification queries and more about all these things. So as I had told you, Python is very big. Okay, that we ourselves keep on going more daily. Okay. So this Anaconda is one another, I would say, yeah, distributor. For Python and R ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, but nowadays it's a lot of other programming languages they are relying on Anaconda. So it's called it's a distribution, okay, or like a distributor ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it actually has some basic tools or like this compiler. Okay. So as of now you can see the over here Jupyter it's showing over here. So I am using distributor notebook. Okay. It has various other notebooks or like even platforms, okay, that are available, applications that are available in Anaconda, where we can use these languages, Python or R or Julia also sometimes they use over there. Julia is one other programming language, and they are using as of the new world. It's actually developed by MIT professors few years back. Yeah, a lot of developments are also going on in that one. So you can download Anaconda from anaconda.org, okay, or like anaconda.com. Over here, so Anaconda. If you download this one, again you will ask for this one. What version of Python do you want? Okay, and there are prerequisites over here. You need to have some 4 GB RAM and around 50 GB hard disk or something. Okay, as a space the required space, because less than that one it won't work that much good, or like there will be a lot of RAM will be used while running these kind of things, and the computer will run very much slow. Okay. So even if I go for that one, just give an example. Before that one, we'll see how it looks. So this Anaconda, if you download Anaconda from anaconda.org or even Anaconda. So anaconda.org and download Anaconda. You can just download Anaconda over here. So pricing is there. So for individuals it's free. You can download it. Once you download it, it will be like this. So this application, once you open it, it's around half a GB. So this Anaconda actually has pre-installed Python libraries. If not many, the basic libraries, especially the NumPy, SymPy, and all the other things that we talk about, they will be available. So welcome to Anaconda setup. You just click next, okay, and then agree. Just me, because since it is a single user, okay, or for individuals, and you will be using only for your desktop, just install for just me. Now you just destination file. Use browse the destination file. If user is fine for you, you can directly go for that one. So my space available is around 41 GB, of which space required is 2.9 GB. Okay. So this is not empty because I have already installed Anaconda in this particular file. Okay. So as of now, I cannot install it again. I need a empty Anaconda 3 file or like an Anaconda 3 folder. So it will not continue further. So you can download it, but over here now the system variables, what I told about system variables, it is not required because Anaconda itself it will be having all the Python and all the packages that are required. Okay, so you would not need that one. So if you press next, it will install directly in the Anaconda 3 file. So let me just over here. This is actually it's required. Add to this part. Add Anaconda 3 to my part to my path environment variable. Okay. Don't click any of these things. Okay. You can just put install, okay. And that will be sufficient for for Anaconda to run. Okay. Once you install these things, it will ask run Anaconda. Then you say yes, you want to run Anaconda. So I'll just run Anaconda. So you'll have all these things in Anaconda 3. I think it is visible. It will take a bit of time in the starting. It has to go to the execution file and then it has to most of the people actually use Anaconda distribution or like the distributor for all the programming, because in ideally Python shell or ideally sometimes especially in scientific background it's a bit difficult to get the output or like understand the output the way it is being presented. Okay. So Jupyter Notebooks provides a very good platform for all of us, or like especially from the science aspect, gives a good output. Taking more time today. Since we'll be expecting a latent output, okay, Jupyter Notebook is best for that one. Okay, and there is one more thing called Spider. This is Anaconda Navigator. Anaconda Navigator looks like this. So you have cmd.exe prompt. Okay, this is the command prompt. cmd.exe means the command prompt or the terminal. Okay, so wherein you can install all the new packages if you want, which are not available already. All these things, and you have another few more tools or like the compilers that are available. Generally, we use this one. Okay, Jupyter Notebook is the one that we use. And a few people also use this Spider. This is also one another environment, but they use for scripting. This looks actually like our what would I say? MATLAB. Okay. So you have all the information about the variable. Is it a double? Is it a long double? Or like is it a table? Okay. All the required information you will get in this Spider. But Jupyter is, I would say, it's much more easy for us because we can comment all these things. So when we are presenting something, okay, if we look at this one, so I am able to write these comments over here. Okay, I am using this one as a text editor as well. I am using it as a code editor as well. Okay, all those things you can do, and it looks much more better. Okay. So that's why we use this Jupyter notebook. And if I just press on launch, Jupyter notebook, launch in the browser. Okay. One thing is Jupyter notebook will be open in it is open in the browser. Okay, Chrome or any other browser that you are using. Yeah. So it is opening in the browser. So it is not using any internet as of now. Okay. It's just using the window, or like it is using the browser for all its application. And this is the first page. Okay, this is the front page. This is how it looks like. Anaconda 3 point, Anaconda 3 and all these things. You can just go into this one and you can look into all the environments on it. So we will not go into this one because it doesn't concern us. It's enough for us to use this. So how to open a Anaconda or like editor over here? Okay. So go for this new over here. So once you launch Anaconda, okay, once you click on Jupyter Notebook, launch button, you go to this new. Over here I have Julia 6.1.1 and Python 3. I'll go for Python 3. So Jupyter one where website where I got the expansion was Julia, Python, Terminal and R. Julia is one more language. So Julia, Python, Terminal and R. This is the expansion. But officially I have not got that one. So once you open a new file of Python, it will look like this. So these are the files. It is if you want to open new book, you can even open the current saved book. Okay, and all these things. So the extension for this Python will be IPython. Okay, dot IPNB. This is the extension. If I just move down, scroll down over here, all of these things, they are IPynb, that is IPython notebook. That's what it sees. This is how it looks like. So we run all our codes over here. So I'll just shift to the main screen. So 2 plus 3, and I can press on run over here. Sorry. Okay. If you press on run, it will work. Okay. So go into this. Start. If you don't want to use this run, you can just do shift and enter. Use shift plus enter. Work together. The shift and enter, then it will execute the file. Okay. This is for coding. Okay. And one thing about commenting is use just hash comments. It will be there. That line will be there. So I just use x is equal to plus 3, and this is addition. Addition. X is equal to 2 plus 3, that is addition. But I am not getting the answer. Why I am not getting the answer? Because I have not asked the Python to, or like the interpreter. You can call this an interpreter as well. I have not asked the Python or like the interpreter to give me the output. Okay. In Jupyter Notebook, you can just press X and press enter, shift enter. Just use press and shift enter. It will give you the output. So all these things are there. And also you can use Markdown. Markdown is nothing but the text editor. Okay. You can write all these things that I have written. Yeah, you can use Markdown like this. All this entire cell is Markdown. Yeah, that's some basics about this Jupyter. We shall go forward with the remaining things, and we will get back to this one in also in another few minutes. So yeah, so download, you can download it over here, and also documentation is available for this one. Always go through whatever the system or like the library or that we are using. You can always go through the documentation and you can read what are all the things are there. It might seem a bit advanced, but that will make us, it will make us feel that okay, yeah, we can go through these things. It will be easy, comparatively easy. And close all these things. So Jupyter Notebook, I have already given you some basic information about it. So as of now, I will be using Jupyter Notebook, and you can even use Python ideally. Code will remain the same. Okay, whatever code that you write over here will remain the same over here in Python, shell or like Python ideally as well. It will not be a problem. So over here are few locals. Just a minute. So tokens are, they are the building blocks of a language. Okay? The keywords, identifiers, literals, punctuation marks. Those are the basic things that are, used to build that program. Okay. Few things are there. I cannot use, the word SUM, sum in any as a variable name because it will give an error, and sum is an inbuilt function. Okay. So over here are few examples: if, else if, or like elif, while, true, false, none. These are all few keywords that are already pre-installed. So keywords are those things that are predefined words in the platform or like in the language, okay, that we cannot use as a variable names. And they have some inbuilt functions. Okay. So if this is true, how will it know if it is true, if something is true? Because we have given the command, if x is equal to 5 is true, then you use y is equal to x plus some 6. Okay. So things like that. So these are the things, keywords, we cannot change the keywords as well. They remain the same. So identifiers are the names assigned to values. So meaning the variable names, I would say. Okay. So there are some restrictions while defining the identifiers. Okay. You need to use alphanumeric. Okay. And you cannot have any special characters, and all these things are there. So you can go through these things. Okay. The arithmetic operations that I have already gave you some examples. Okay. So these are the basics that most of you know already. Okay. But the main thing as of now is the libraries. So libraries or modules, they are the basic things that we need, like the Python language, or because most of the, as of now, you are able to see these three libraries. Okay. All the three libraries might have the same operations. Okay. But the output has its own value. Okay. So how do we import libraries, or how do we use these things? So generally we start with import numpy as NP. But sometimes it will not give so. I think I uninstalled numpy. Okay. So let me check. So I'll just use this one, or like I'll just write it over here. Import numpy as NP. NumPy is one library that used for scientific computation. Okay, whenever we are using the numerical methods, okay, or even linear algebra, okay, so matrices, so linear algebra, generally we go for NumPy, and also wherever we are using all the discretization, okay, and all the other things, okay, numerical analysis, numerical methods, everything we use NumPy. Okay, it gives a very precise answer what we are looking for, and also the error will be comparatively less. Okay. So a lot of factors matter when computation is going on. So import numpy as NP. If I execute this one, so this is, I'm just using this ideally shell, import it. So I shall use this one. I'll just uninstall numpy. We will see. So now I use the same code. Okay, import numpy as np. Still should not import it. It should give me an error. It's okay. Now I should use this. Still showing me because yeah, I think it's because of the other execution on. Okay, so libraries import part we will directly go to that one. Libraries import part. So the basic things is just Python. Ideally, we can definitely use, that is fine. But when we are using the differentials or like derivatives or even the matrix operations and all these things, we definitely make use of these libraries. Okay, and sine and cos and all this trigonometric or any functions and all these things. We want these libraries. Without these libraries, we cannot work with all those things. So to make use of these libraries or like to okay. So yeah, to make use of these libraries, we'll go to this command prompt. Command prompt will run as administrator. You run this one as an administrator, and then use pip install numpy. It will take a bit of time for downloading all these things, and it will be downloaded in a few minutes if the internet is good. Yeah. Now, if we come back to this one, it means that if we install, numpy is available, so we can directly use numpy. So we can just close that window and we can start with this. So similarly, you use all the other commands: pip install numpy, pip install simpy. Okay, and other few things are mathematics, MP math. So yeah, math is one another module, okay, and MP math is free, licensed library, and matplotlib is used for all the visualization. These are the things that for like the modules that are available for if you are using Jupyter Notebook. Not necessary that you have to install these things. Okay, but if you are using this Jupyter, you have to use Conda install. Okay, in the Conda terminal. But if you are using Python, ideally, you have to go to this command prompt. Command prompt run as admin, and then you have to use the pip version. Okay. So pip under hyphen v, hyphen capital V will give you the version of the pip as well, and then pip install simpy. So requirements already satisfied means I already have. I'm having already this simpy installed in this one. So if I want to upgrade it, okay, so use pip install simpy, two hyphens and upgrade. So this also requirement already satisfied means that the simpy installed in my system is already updated. Okay, so no need to use all this. And one more thing is, yeah, before I forget, you can use this command prompt also as a Python. Okay, so just use Python. So we'll go to this one. You can use 5 plus p. 8 start to. So 7 start. That is 49. Yeah, I think the font size is very much low. I cannot replace the font size command prompt, but yeah, you can use command prompt with just this Python as a syntax, and you can use it as Python as well, or like the Python interpreter. are some basic things how you have to import the libraries and all these things. And then next we'll go to the these input statements. Unlike C and all these things, you do not need to mention the data type of what is A, B, C or anything. So you can directly use x is equal to 3, y equals name, and that is equal to 1, 3, 6, whatever. And just press shift enter. So if I press on X, it will give me what is 3. Okay. So if I want to know what is the type or like what is the data type of X, use type X will give me it. Similarly, type Y will give me string, and type Z will give me float. You can directly use the variable names without specifying like C. In C programming, you would have to specify this. Over here, it is not necessary that you have to do all those things. And if you want the user input, okay, and just say y is equal to input, or like input as well, you can input, enter the value. We will take x1 as 56, and then I'll just say print. Or you can use any other .0. Okay, so it will make sure that it is a float. Whatever the value that you are giving, it's a float. So 25.66 now. So it will give the value. So 25.66. So here these are the basic things about giving input statements. But most of the times we would have given all this x, y, z variable or like input values we might have already given. The next thing is output statements. In Jupyter, if we use just x3, okay, I have already defined what is x3. x3 is some float value that I have already assigned. And if I just use press enter, it will come. Not a problem at all. And also you can use print statement. Print variable. Print variable will give you the output. And if you are using any other characters over here, you can use print. So within inverted commas, you use the value is just 1 comma and a variable in x2 or x3. As of now, we will take x2 as we will give the value is 25.0. I actually changed the value 25.0 over here to this one. It's still taking the unchanged value. Okay. So this is 1235. It's not giving the answer because I had stored x2 to be this float value and not changed x3 and not changed the x2 to x3 over there when I copy it. So now if I execute this one, so 1253, run this code again. Now it will give you 1253 then int value. And if you are using just strings, okay, so what I'll do is I'll put x is equal to some string r1 equals r1 equals a. So I can use this one as a print. Name plus can use like this, but make sure that both of these data types are same. When you're using this kind of thing, when you're using this plus in the print statement, you have to make sure that the data types are same. String 1 has the same data type and name is also of the string data type. name and string should have the same data type, and only this plus ones. Or else, if I use this x2 over here, it will give an error. Okay. Only concatenating strings is allowed, not the other things. Okay. So generally, people don't prefer this one. So we should not use this one. That one we should use only these two things. Basic operation, okay, which I have already discussed. It will all be the same. Run this one. So for running the line, I use shift and enter. So for math, okay, we need a different set. Okay. I can use 3 by 2. 3 divided by 2. It will give me 1.5. So if I want the integer of this one, or like int value, it will just give me the 1. Meaning it is truncating the decimal parts, and it is considering only the base 10. What is the int part or the integer part is only considering that one. Okay, 33 divided by 2 is 16.5. 21. Yeah, this is much more better. 330 divided by 21 and int of 330 divided by 21. Give me 15. It is taking only this integer part, and it is truncating the remaining decimal parts. Then if we want to round off some value, so I'll take round 5.61. So it is rounding it off the nearest integer. Okay, so that is greater or lower to that one. So whichever is nearest. Okay. So if I use the same thing, instead of 6, I use 4. Now it is rounding it off to 53. So I just change this 6 to 4 over here. Okay. So the nearest integer value was 54 over here for this one. So whatever is nearest integer value, it will round it off to that one. You can use any other example for this one. Okay. We'll have some x value over here, that is 5. This is that one. I'll print x as well. 5.25. So I want to round it off to some value. Okay. Round x, it will round it off to 5. That is the nearest region. I'll use the same command with one change. Up to 1 decimal place. As of now, when I'm using this one, it will round it off to 1 decimal place. Okay. And similarly, if I want to use it for 3 decimal places, I can use this one. Okay. So 5.1252 is it. So the nearest value up to 3 decimal places is 0.125. So it will be the answer will be 5.125. So if I use this one up to 6 decimal places, you should give 6 decimal places. You can observe over here that the value that actually I had given is 5.1252487. Since I use the nearest value or like 6 decimal places, it will take this things. The next remaining, that is 7, that is over here. Okay. Now it will see or like given go to the nearest higher value or the upper value. Okay. So now this becomes 9. These are the error, I wouldn't say errors, but the rounding off and truncations that actually go through whenever, like we can manipulate these things in certain cases, okay. But in few cases it's restricted. And we can directly use, suppose I have x1, x2, x3 values, right? So x1, I'll give some other values. So I take x equal to, if you want to input 2 or more values, okay, so x, y, z values, or 76. Now x will take the value 1, y will take the value 2, and z will take the value 7. You can use print statements or the output statements directly with the mathematical operations. That is print x plus 5 will give 1 plus 5, that is 6. Okay. And print y star 7 or like 5 power 7 also will give 78,125. Directly these things will be given. So you can use, not necessarily that you have to give a proper, okay, 5 star 7, let's go, y star 7, y double star 7. It will be the same answer. Not necessarily that you always have to give, you have to store a value and then you have to give the print statement. Okay. So ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಈ ತರನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ನಾವು. ಪವರ್ e1 ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, e1 is equal to y star star z. It is y per z. Okay, that is 5 power 7. And print v1. You can give the code like this. This also will work. Okay. But this is also one other option. Okay. But ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಬೇಡ, ಲೈನ್ ಕಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ we can directly use stop even we can directly use y star star and just execute the code and give you the answer. All these one-liners you can use directly in the ideally directly you can use these one-liners. That will not be a problem. But it's all it depends on the user. Okay, ಯಾವ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ easy ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ depends on that. So we'll go to one another topic, that is list. Okay. So I just use this square brackets to define a list. So one, if I execute this one and let's see, will give me a list. You can use what kind of data type is this list. Type of A, so there is a list. It looks like a one-dimensional array, okay, but it is not a one-dimensional array because in list you can have any other kind of data type. Okay, I can use inverted code or like single. So this is actually a string. What I am using over here is a string, so str1 or like a character. So different kinds of data types I can use inside a single string, okay, and then I can run it. So this is where string and one-dimensional array basically differs. Okay. So one-dimensional array means in an array all the data types must be same or like of the same data type. Okay. Whatever values that you are giving in an array, it should have the same data type. But in string it is not necessary. Like you can give a different data type as well, string variable consider it. So how to manipulate? Can we manipulate these strings and all this? Yeah, we can definitely manipulate. If I want to take the first element, okay. So if I want to take the first element, start with a of 0, will give me 1. So one important thing in Python is indexing starts from 0. In MATLAB it starts from 1. Okay. Over here indexing starts from 0, and for an nth term we use n plus for I is equal to 1 to n ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Now we leave from I is equal to 1 to n plus 1 because the last term will not be considered. The last but one term will be considered. Okay. So while going with the loop statements, maybe you can have an idea about that one. Okay. So this is one. So yeah, a of 1 if we write, then it will give a string value, str1. So I can use type of this one. Type of a of 0 is an int, okay, while type of a1 is a string character. Okay. I can use my name as well. Okay. Name. Now also it is giving string as an output. That is possible. And if we want to go with the last term, so what is the last term over here? It's 4 items are there in this string. So is out of range. E of 4 is out of range because since in the indexing starts from 0, this is the 0th element. The 1 is the 0th element. This will be the first element. This is second element, and this is the third element. So I can go only up to 3. Okay. So when I use 4 over here, it will give me index is out of range. So I can use here 3. That is one another way that you can use, or like you can go to the last element is by using a of, or like a within the brackets you use -1. Okay. That is, this minus represents the coming from the reverse direction. But since we have already used 0 for the positive, or like this, positive direction, okay, 0 cannot be used again in the backward direction. So it will use -1 or from the end, okay, or from the RHS. Okay. This is some basics about list. There is there are a lot of other operations, and we can append some value. Append, I just append 10. A dot append. So already you have the list over here. It is, my list is over here. A is equal to 1, 2, 3. 1 name 3 and 4, which is there. Okay. But when I am appending this, then so 1 name 3, 4, and in the last value. Okay. So append whatever you want to append, it will be added to the last part. Okay. If I want to append string character, so math. Like here again. Now math is appended, okay, at the last or at the end of the list. So you can even find the length of the list. Okay. Length of A, alien of A will give us length of list. So list has 6 items. Okay. That is for sure. So the number of items in the list is 6. But the indexing starts from 0. So it should not confuse these kind of things. So they can use pop as well. Okay, that are available. Pop without anything, if you write this one, it will give the this has the output. Okay. So A pop, A dot pop, A dot pop 1. 1. That is the first item. This is the 0th item. This is the first item. So it will give only the first item. Okay. So if I just write without anything, okay, without mentioning any index values, it will give the last item that is available in the list. Okay. So you can remove elements as well from this point. Okay. So A dot remove. I'll just see it. What are the elements that are available? 1, 3, 5. A dot remove 3 means it will remove that element directly. It will remove that element. So if I just use A over here, okay, or you can use directly with this one. A dot remove some element. Okay. So A of 2 in previous was this 3, value 3. Correct. So I want to remove that one. So I use that value, remove this value. I mean, remove A of 2, that is 3. And if I check now, the value is 1 and 4. Okay. So these two are actually not available because I've used this pop statements, right? So let's, okay, let's remove this. So if I give another list, okay, so I'll just give another random list. So that is 2, 5, 3, 9, sort this list, what I can do is sort A1. Sorry, A1 dot sort. A1 dot sort. Now it will sort the items in this list. Okay. And now if I execute this A1, now we can see that whatever the random list that I had given, all the values have been sorted out. But if I use some string over here, then it will give an error because you cannot, use this lesser than or greater than the operator, the logical operators over here, okay, because there exists a string. So you have to make sure that whenever we are using this sort option, it should be either float or it should be of string type. Not use this one. Yeah, but sort you can use it. Only thing is we have to make sure that it is of same data type. That is one thing. Now we can import math. This is one library that I had mentioned over here. Math library. This is run by C standard. C standard means the C programming or whatever you have to use over there. So it relates to that one. Okay, Python generally, basically it is completely written with C. Okay. So that's why, that is one point that we have to make note. So this math is another library that we can use. If we import math, since it's imported, we can use. Suppose I say it's equal to sign of this. Sign is not different, so I use math dot sign. Since I have just used import math, okay, you need to mention this math dot sign in each of your codes. Okay. So suppose I use import math as star. Okay, we cannot use import math as star, but we can use from math import star. Okay, that we can use, but we shall use only this one as of now. We can use this one. We can use cos of x. Error because I am not using this math rod. So you have to always use this math rod prefix in each of the code. So math rod tan of x. You can use print sign of 20, but you can have to use math dot sign of 20. This cos of math dot. It will give the answer directly. You can use these kind of statements. So you can use math dot e as well. You can do 2.718 for this values. And math dot pi 114 and 1. And this Python is case sensitive. Okay. So math dot is cos of e. It will give me an error because since it is case sensitive, meaning everything should be of lower cases. Okay. So all the libraries generally will be of lower cases, whatever that we use. So nobody uses uppercase letters. So if we use any capital letters somewhere in the code, it might give an error like this. In few cases, it might not occur, but it will be just generally very rare. So you can use these kind of things, and also you can, instead of, if you don't want to type the entire math, so you can use import math as yum. So you can use yum dot sign of 45, yum dot cos of system. dot cos of E. All these things that are available. You can, instead of typing this one, if you don't specify this, okay, if you don't specify what is this, just use import math, then you have to use this math dot sign. Even in case of numpy and simpy, you would have to use, generally what we do is import numpy as np, and import simpy as np. We use things like this. That time we have to give like a prefix each of the math operations that we are using from the library with np or sp. So since we used import math as m, okay, so we'll use sign m dot sign 45 and all these things. So you can use even inverse trigonometric functions over here. So m dot a sign of 0.56 or anything like that. It will give 0.523 some value over here. Okay. Or like a dot a sign 1. So all these things it's giving in radian mode as of now. Okay. So what I'll use is m dot a sign of 5 by 2 sign of m dot pi divided by 2. It will give me one as answer. So I cannot use directly this pi over here because since I am using only math module, I have to specify that pi is a predefined or like the value is stored in this module. So I have to use this pi over here as m dot pi divided by 2 and also this sign. So whenever we are using this kind of operations or this mathematical expression or in this form, we need to give this suffix m dot. We have imported some module as this one. So I have seen because of this statement, I am using all this import math as m. Suppose I use some math import star. You don't need to use anything. If I use pi, it will give me directly some value sign of 5 by 2. And you get one as answer. So a sign of 1 divided by 2. A sign of, sign inverse of 1 is 5 by 2. 5 by 2 is nothing but over here in radian 3.147 divided by 2, that is 1.570796. Here also I am getting. These were all, yeah, they are reasonably equal with respect to this one. So my answer is correct. So when you are using the code or like the syntax as import math as yum, okay. So when you are using as yum or as npy or as spy, you can use this one as yum1 as well, not necessarily any value that you want to use. You would have to write the codes or like these functions or the mathematical expression or these things with the prefix yum dot. Okay. Making sure that what actually it is doing over there is whatever operation it is going to do over here, it is sign of 45. It is calculated the sign value of 45 from this math module. Okay. If you have used more than 2 or 3 libraries, then also the value will remain the same, but whatever is the last library that you have imported, okay, from that one it will be using. Okay. What's it? Time is 6:04. Can I continue with this? Sorry, ma'am.
Sir,
Can I continue for another few minutes or?
if you need,
Sorry, ma'am.
Sir, you can
I think for another few minutes, then we can end it for today's this one.
Okay.
Or if at all there is any query, I can address those things as we go into this session because.
So, dear participants, if you want to interact with the resource person, you are welcome.
So as of now, ಇವಾಗ ಸರ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಏನಿದೆ, all those things are one-liners that will be that can be directly executed. There will be not any anybody can understand those things. Yeah. If at all there are any queries, please ask me. I'll be happy to share whatever I know.
Dear participants, if you want to interact with the resource person, you are welcome. Or you can put your questions in the chat box.
So as of now, I have only used this math module. Aravind sir and Sushant sir, they'll be using the other modules. Yeah, of course they use all those things. Module is or like these libraries are just for our sake. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲಿಂದ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡು ಈ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. But you can use other modules to do the same kind of things. Suppose I use just use I can even np.py. They give me 3.1415 and all this. And np.py divided by 2. They give me 1.796 and all this. So you can use that one. This is from math module. Okay. And this is from numpy module. They both give me the same result. So there will not be any changes. Only thing is we go to whatever is required for our experiment or like our analysis. It depends on the user. Not necessarily that we have to stick to just one module or like in matter use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು there is no restriction. You can use whatever module that we are comfortable with. There are a few more codes that are there over here. You can use seal of 2.86. Let's seal to the nearest region. Okay, number value. And if you want to use floor value.
Sir, one of the participant is asking like which environment is user friendly, Jupyter or Spider?
Jupyter or Spider? Ma'am, actually, yeah, Jupyter. If you ask me, I would say Jupyter is user friendly for me because in scientific world we actually have explanations and all these things. So I cannot project my paper or like even my experimentation like this. Okay. So if I want to comment, I can comment. Okay. Will help a mark down at the head. Over here, you just go to this step, okay, and then you go to this code ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ this will change to a mark. Over here you can use this as a command or like word or a text file. use LaTeX statements over here. So I can just use this dollar symbol. So x square plus 5x plus 1. So this is my polynomials. So over here we can use output is a LaTeX output, which actually gives me a very good expression form. Like the expression, it looks much more clear and proper, which is much required for us. Okay. But in case of spider, ಈ ತರ output ಬರೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. And also in SymPy, okay, SymPy ಅಲ್ಲಿ symbolic outputs that actually we get in the form of x, y, z or whatever, differential equations and all these things. There, the output in Python ideally or even Spider won't be like this, but how we get it Jupyter. So I would go for Jupyter. Few people are comfortable with Spider. If you are just using for any analysis, okay, you are concerned about the data types and all these things. What is the the data that you have? Okay, suppose fluid dynamics. So project part here, code per here, and you have all the data points, boundary conditions, and all these things, and each of the points. Okay, so you have the grid, and each of the boundaries on the grid, you have some data points, and you have to use some methods, all these things. So that time, Spider actually will give you the details of the grid point, or like how many grid points are there, and all this things, the LHS or RHS of this one, as like in MATLAB. It depends now. User, like however user looks into. But in if you ask me, both are almost have the same advantage, one or the other. I hope it was okay. My answer was proper. Thank you very much. It depends on it. It depends on the user how he or she uses. Because both of the things are they have their own values. They have their own things. So we don't. I wouldn't say either matter use ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಬೇಕು ಅದರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. As I have told you, NumPy ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೇಕೋ ಅವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. SymPy ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೇಕೋ ಅವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. You can use Spider or Jupyter wherever you want. Okay, but the code will remain the same. Whatever you write in Jupyter, you can run the same code in Spider as well, and you can run the same code in IDL. Okay, but we have to make sure that it's of Python. Okay, very few codes are there that are executable only in Jupyter. Okay, like Jupyter-based directory. Okay, to check the runtime and all these things. Those we cannot use in Python IDL. Basic Python codes that whatever environment you take or like whatever will be the same. Even if I run in Jupyter, it will give the same answer. Even if I run in Python, ideally or Spider, it will give the same answer. But the output, the way the output is projected, will be different. So in this case, so x squared plus 5x plus 1. So this will not be the output if I use in NumPy. If I am using, it will be like x star star plus 5 star x plus 1. This is how the code will be in NumPy. Okay. This is how the code looks like in NumPy. So it's there. These are the basic things that actually differ, not that much. These are projects I use a bit of Canada. I know Canada, I use a bit of tomorrow's class. Actually use a bit of Canada. Sorry if I use yes, ma'am.
Sir, what is the actual difference between LaTeX and this Python, sir?
No, LaTeX is just it's a documentation tool, that's it. LaTeX journals ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರೆಯೋಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Journals or papers and all the other textbook.
Our Professor E.T. Venkataramaya, Associate Professor, Department of Economics, to propose vote of thanks. Ivy sir. Ivy sir. Ivy sir, are you there? Okay, I request the Assistant Professor H.G. Suguna, HOD of Mathematics, to propose vote of thanks.
Hope sir has come. So let sir render the vote of thanks to you. Ivy sir is connected now. Please sir, render your vote of thanks sir.
Ivy sir. Ivy sir. Ivy sir, you have muted your device, sir.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to
Ivy
all.
sir, you are not
Venkatraman
audible, sir.
Indeed. Unmuted. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Okay, sir. Now it is okay, sir. Now it is okay.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ. You start from the beginning.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Proceed, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all. Madam, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Okay.
Okay, sir. You are audible, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all. I am Venkatraman. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all. I am Venkatramaya Inti, Associate President, the Department of Economics, the Board of Thanks. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver vote of thanks for the event to all the build on online. I would like to thank Professor Aravind N for his elaborative talk on basic commands and in Python. I thank all the participants in the wonderful faculty development program. I thank our principal, Dr. Sharda, for her constant support and cooperation to organize this FDP in the institution. I thank all the teaching and non-teaching staff of our college. I thank all the teaching and non-teaching staff of our college for their cooperation and support. And I finally thank Suguna HG, Organizing Secretary, for her effective efforts to organize and implement this faculty development program. Thank you, one and all. Over to Jyoti ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for rendering a vote of thanks. Dear participants, today's session we are winding up. Tomorrow we will again meet you on the same platform for the technical session 2. And tomorrow's topic is simple programs in Python. And till then, stay home, stay safe, and have a great day. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you, Aravind sir. Once again, thank you on behalf of our college and organizers. Thank you.